Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you all for joining the stream. We have a great show planned for tonight because I found some new creators. Our friend Detroit was sending me over some of these creators that we're going to go over tonight. One is Reckless Ben, and he has a YouTube channel where he kind of goes on like these missions is the best way I could say, but it's like it's undercover, and he went into Provo Canyon School and checked out their facility. And we've been talking about a lot of facilities here, and we talked about Provo Canyon School. We talked about Paris Hilton's experience there, heard from her and some other survivors their experience. So because Paris also has a YouTube channel. So we've covered this, and this was really interesting, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. But it's about the residential therapeutic facilities. And so when I say RTF, it's the residential facilities here in America. Now, let me know if you guys have these facilities in your area, right? Because I know that we have people that watch from all over the place, but in America, we have these facilities, and our federal government knows about these facilities because the money, right? There's money, there's funding, state level funding, mental health funding, lots and lots of funding, right? We even talked about it in Sebastian Rogers' case, pertaining to Sebastian Rogers' case. So that's really why I want to show this as well, because thank God Paris Hilton got out, alive, and she's able to voice her experiences, right? Because it's very brave to do that. And so um, we have another person whose family they trafficked him, is what his words are, to these schools. So it's a very scary thought, and it's very easy to get away with this. And we're going to watch how these guys got away with getting into and infiltrating Provo Canyon, Utah school. Okay. And, or Provo Canyon School in Utah. Excuse me, I botched that. Um, Hello, Witchy Mama, and thank you so much, Witchy Mama, too, for putting in all of these wonderful resources for us. Please sub up to Sheldon. Sheldon is another person that will meet in these videos that they've done. He gets a job at the school, right? He gets a job, and he has a very unsavory record, right? Including things like Grand Theft Auto and things of that nature. Okay. So he is a guy that, shouldn't be probably working with kids based on what's on paper. Right. And so, um, very interesting that he was able to get a job there, and he was also able to get certified. So, when it comes to the medical aspect of things, so it's going to be really interesting. Now, we are doing this under fair use because I have not transformed this content. So, definitely sub up to them. And full credit goes over to Reckless Ben, right? Reckless Ben is the guy that's going to play the young person who goes to apply for these schools, right? And the reason that he is his father, a guy that's going to play his dad, um, wanted to put him in there was because he was having homosexual, thoughts. And just based on that, they were going to put him in a school. And that part is really, really interesting too, that they would accept a child under those pretenses. Although they did say that they didn't care. One of the main guys will say that there is audio from inside the school, right? So that's why I say that we're going undercover tonight. But yeah, it's exciting. It's very exciting. And also, I wanted to tell you guys too about Seth's Live. I know we mentioned it last night, but I wanted to mention it again with Chris McDonough. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is going to be Wednesday night, right? So 7 Central. And also, hey, Bo. And guys, please share out the flyers. We have Devlin Tate's missing flyer. He's still missing out of Lake Odessa, Michigan. Sebastian Rogers, Hendersonville, Tennessee. And we're going to talk about Sebastian tonight because this also goes along with what we've been talking about in one of the theories that we've explored on the channel about Sebastian. Because he was supposed to go to one of these schools. However, it was too expensive, some of the options that his father wanted to bring into it. And that is also going to be discussed tonight in this live stream, and, is a topic of conversation in there. So, yes, and Bo, thank you so much for gathering those questions up too. That is so awesome, and I will definitely help with the with the Chris McDonough live. It's gonna be, it's, I bet you it's a long, long, long live. So, um, let's see. We were chit chatting about that. Hey, Amzy Moods, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, hey, Seth, good to see you as well. Thank you for being here. So, I think this is going to be interesting when we talk about just how this may relate to Sebastian, because it's so easy. Hey, Scranton, good to see you. And my PTSD is here. It's so easy for the kids to get enrolled, for the parents to put the children in these schools, and then also for, because people would say, well, if they're getting government funding, don't they need to be up to par? And yeah, theoretically, yes, they would have to be up to par, but they're not up to par. So they're supposed to be, but they're not. And that's why Provo lost their license recently, and like, of course we covered that as well. So um you know which Mama says, sharing there, like, are there in threads on Discord? I'll pop them up in the mod chat later tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, great. Oh, are you talking about links, the links? Hey, show poodles, good to see you. I'm going to listen tonight, but be here for support. Oh, good. Well, good, show poodles. I think that you will enjoy this show because, of course, we've talked about this subject before, as it pertains to Sebastian, and it's just very interesting. Again, how easy it is, and we've talked about uh, when we watched Brooke Harlan and Young Buck, and they were talking to the lawyer that was unfortunately disbarred for fighting, against the corruption. Um, it's really sad because the good people get taken out and the corrupt leaders stay in. And she was saying that in Tennessee they get about $1,200 for these children, per children. So it's astonishing. It's astonishing. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. So good to see you guys. Let's see who else is here. I don't want to miss anybody. Hello, DC Tincher. Good to see you. Welcome in, guys. Sorry, I put my live up late tonight. I was having some trouble because I didn't save the thumbnail right. And I'm like, why won't it stick on there? I don't understand why. Well, that's because I didn't have it in the right format. So, hey, Shadow, good to see you. And Diane Miller is here. So good to see you. So let's get started into this. It's very interesting how this all works out. And I was on the edge of my seat when I watched this first one with Reckless Ben, right? So, and this is called We Went Undercover. And let me just change this up a little bit. But it's because I will get to that part. I need to back it up a little bit. But I wanted to customize my screen a little. it. Sorry about that. Sometimes I do it before the live and sometimes I do it during the live, but let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, so we got that much done. And let me back this up because I was watching it, a little bit again before, just, thinking about timestamps I wanted to stop on and things like that. So, again, this is Reckless Ben. He is on YouTube. You can find him on YouTube, and he has another channel as well. So definitely go sub up. He's does great work, and you're gonna really be impressed, or at least I was, with how intelligent these guys are, and how they were able to kind of get in where they fit in order to do this. I mean, this is super interesting that they're doing this. So, okay, here we go. Let me go ahead. Okay, yeah, we have it.
Imagine your kid starts getting into trouble and a professional tells you that there's a school that can fix them. They'll get an awesome education and fun outdoor activities that restore your kid's hope. But once you send your kids away, you can no longer see what's actually happening. What if you just spent your life savings on a program that makes them even worse?
Okay, so that would be a nightmare, right? And I told you guys when I was doing this research that there was a lot of these shows out there where they portray this type of school environment, like corrective school environment, with the kids, right? And that they even have reality shows and things about it. But many of the parents, the reason why they wanted to send their kids to these schools was because they wanted to help them, right? It wasn't malicious intent, in my opinion. So here we go. I'm just going to go back over this again because there's a couple of things that I wanted to read back to you guys. Okay, so this is the Provo Canyon School website. Obviously, you can see where you put in for um, maybe an application, right, to get in. Um, Ongoing high quality education. So all teachers are certified teachers in their subject area. All teachers are special educators certified or are completing endorsement licensure. 120 semester course offerings, year-round schooling, which is 3 semesters, daily traditional school schedule, traditional bell schedule, class rotation. Okay, and again, we're going to find out how they certify people through their program, through the school, that is, because I know that has always been a question that people, and it's a great question to ask because that's the first thing that you would think of to kind of verify some of this information. So with that being said, all teachers are certified teachers in their subject area, right? That's kind of a red flag to me, especially with what we're going to be listening to. The environment maximizes students' talents and abilities. Orton Gillingham instructional method for struggling readers. There's direct instruction with a focus on reading, writing, and classroom conversation, project-based and cooperative learning classroom experiences, small class sizes, a 2-week grading system, competitive sports program, student improvement recognition. Not sure what that is, but student government opportunities and academic communication with parents and staff through Power School, web-based access to students' progress reports. Okay, and when we think about how they might be fudging the numbers on some of the testing that's going to be done, what we're going to witness soon in this live stream tonight, it's going to be really questionable. So this, even though this part seems like it's a little bit like big deal, right? But no, what they're alleging here is going to be completely different than what we're going to see later on because they do fudge the numbers, and I'll just put it that way, not to be a direct spoiler. Hey Peggy, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, very interesting. And let me just go back here. Okay, so this is the facilities playground equipment, right? And then they have like a rock climbing wall, okay, and a basketball court, just to name a few things. But I wanted you to get a picture of this for later on, of course. And then it says Provo Canyon School testimonials and success stories. I love being a part of a family therapy. It's making, or their family therapy, it's making things easier for both myself and my daughter to deal with what is going on outside of Provo Canyon School. And I am now most definitely ready to have my daughter home, so that we can start our life together. Okay. And I find it interesting here, TS parent of current PCS patient, Provo Canyon Schools PCS patient. Okay. They call these children their patients because they are getting money through the state, and they absolutely hide behind HIPAA. Spoiler alert. They absolutely do. Hey, Shauna. Good to see you, Shauna. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Staff, especially her therapists, were professional and warm and accessible, and made me as a parent feel some comfort in knowing my child was getting the help she needed. That's a parent of a former patient, Provo Canyon School. Wait till you hear how they certify doctors in this place. Okay. And again, I do believe that there's a lot of parents out there that put their kids in this school. This school is not cheap. This school is not cheap at all. It is buku bucks. Okay. Wait till you find out how much. All right, guys. So here we go.
Well, I'm about to go on the craziest mission in the entire world to find out. And the school I'm talking about is called Provo Canyon School.
All right, guys. And I wanted to stop on this right here because Hero's work here is like, this is just somewhat of a red flag to me, right? Like, I guess it could be taken either way. But when I see this, maybe it's because I already know that place is trash. But also, it might be just because, I mean, it's a little much. It's a little much, in my opinion. So here we go.
There's been a ton of allegations about this.
Okay, so some of these say a student with special needs should not be sent to a residential treatment center. Have you not read the other subs? They torture these kids. Okay, these are some Reddit threads. Obviously, some of them you could tell where they came from. I always hear nothing but bad things about Provo. Okay, and it goes on and on and on. These facilities aren't even run properly or are good for the kids that belong there, right? Even if a child is in a bad way, they still don't deserve to go to these places, guys. These places are terrible. Look up Cornelius Fredericks. He was unalived by staff in 2020 at a facility in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The facility is now shut down, and staff members are facing involuntary manslaughter charges, among other charges. Okay? This is awful. I know someone who was sent to one of these boarding schools, F them up mentally. Rich people do not know how to raise their kids. And I will tell you, some of these facilities are high dollar, just like when Chris and Katie pitched the idea to Seth for Sebastian to be put in Bledsoe Youth Academy in Gallatin, Tennessee. Seth came back and said, no, I've researched that place. There's tons of bad reviews, just like these ones, right? My partner suffered horribly at this school. Another person says, right? So all of these things were present at Gallatin, that Bledsoe Youth Academy. And so Seth had a liaison who helped him find 4 other options, but they were extremely expensive as well. So these places are not cheap, but a lot of times you can be put in there with insurance, right, from the government. So those monies are used, or mental health monies are used. But either way, there are ways of getting into these schools uh, where the parents don't pay, because that's how Sebastian was going to be able to go to Bledsoe Youth Academy, right? Because the state funds that. They get mental health dollars, right, from Tennessee Mental Health. And they're also owned by a company called Youth Opportunity Investments. Okay, so um, with that being said, I believe that is why Sebastian could possibly be in a school. The only way that you can get a referral for Bledsoe Youth Academy is to get one from DCS. And we know that Sebastian was under a Title IV, imminent risk of being taken out of the home, per Title IV in Tennessee. Hello, Sharon Marlowe. Good to see you. Welcome in, guys. So, as you can see, this is why my spidey senses tingle when I think about that, because they don't play by the rules. They certainly don't play by the rules, and that's a very scary thought. And they definitely didn't tell Seth anything. As a matter of fact, Seth, Sebastian's father, has full legal and physical custody of his son. He would go there every other weekend, and holidays, and they had a parenting plan. There was times where Sebastian would go to Seth's more often, just depending. Um, but they did have a parenting plan in place, and nothing was ever said to Seth. They had Seth's contact information and the area where he lives as well. Hey, Detroit, good to see you. Yes. Oh, you just finished the last video with Barbecue Counselor. It was over 3 hours and it was awesome. He went over Reckless Ben's video. Oh, cool. Oh, that is so great. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm telling you, this is great information. And it puts it into perspective, doesn't it, Detroit? I mean, they did a review. That review, I watched that one. I just didn't get into the Barbecue Counselor. So, yeah, I think that'll be some good ones for us to review moving forward, because they went undercover in these places. So again, just to kind of show you guys what people are saying about Provo School.
This place.
Families are suing Provo Canyon School.
Raise your hand if you'd call yourself a survivor.
Look at all of these people, guys. It's, I don't think it's only rich kids that went to those places, right? I think it's all different kids, right? That, I mean, this one, yeah, and you probably might need to have some money, but again, you have to remember that a lot of these people are, I'll say some of them. I don't remember if he said there were more kids that were getting government funding, or how many were, but the ones that aren't, you're going to be astonished by what they have to pay.
Of abuse.
When I first heard about this place, the first thing I thought was, if this place really is as bad as everyone's saying it is, then why is it still open? Why are the parents still sending their kids here? And
yeah, why are the parents still sending the kids here? How do I choose a residential treatment program? A parent's guide, right? And that's why I call these RTFs, right? Residential therapeutic centers, right? And that's what they do. They're facilities that house children, and they get money for it, and they get a lot of money for it. And if it's not coming from the parents, it's coming from the government. They have been investigated since 1982. Oh my gosh, that's the year I was born. My goodness. Tax write-offs. I mean, they get tons of money, and they do the bare minimum. They do the bare minimum for these kids, and the facility is, again, just a dump, in my opinion.
If you go to the website, why is there only 5-star reviews on this place?
Oh, looky there. Only 5-star reviews.
So I decided to do some research, and it seems like the reason this place is still open is because all of these are just word of mouth allegations.
Right. This is terrible. Trauma at Provo Canyon School, one of the Utah's residential treatment centers. Provo Canyon School also has been a consistent source of complaints. 8 former residents talked to the Salt Lake Tribune. I basically said goodbye and was thrown into a room and strip searched. It was a nightmare. What the hell did I just walk into? Did I just walk into a prison? Right? That's Jeremy Whitley. You can see Washington State. Another guy from Illinois, Aaron Morris, says, "I'm 41 years old and I still have nightmares of being in that place to this day." Horrible. Poor guy. Elizabeth from Illinois says, "You get so used to the abuse and the control that you can't differentiate between being loved and being abused." Wow. Sarah Stevenson says, "We had a lot of untrained, unseasoned counselors, BYU students who were seriously no more than a few years our senior." Jen Robeson says, "The things that still haunt me is the amount of time in isolation." Okay, guys, because they have this place, it's like the shoe or the hole, right? We have to find a way to change how we do mental health. Teenagers should not be drugged up and ignored, says Kira Lewis from Alaska, right? We got the 2 from California. Sorry, forgot to say that. And then Alaska. Interesting, Alaska keeps coming up. "I'm being restrained at 8 years old. It's traumatizing. It's very scary. Mostly it just scares you more." Right. It doesn't do anything. And that's also Kayla Smith from California. "Until I turned 18, I was terrified I'd get sent back for some reason. I always had a fear I'd end up back there." That is Kylie Harvey of Utah. Okay. So sad. And those are things that were told to the Salt Lake Tribune.
I was verbally, mentally, and physically abused on a daily basis.
Yeah, unless there's video evidence of what's happening inside, it's going to be really hard to shut this place down.
Okay, and guys, we've seen this place. It is a whole ass facility. It doesn't look as run down, but the program is horrible. It is just horrible, horrible, horrible. So it's a lot to deal with. Uh, my PTSD says the parents probably write it off as medical expenses due to behavioral mental health issues. Yeah, some of the parents maybe just want the kids to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Which is sad too. There's a lot of reasons, um, in my opinion. Nisi Tincher says Ohio is one of the big underground trafficking for children. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, and I think that there's so many that do that too. Heather Marie, good to see you, Heather Marie. Yeah, and all the other missing too says love and light from Southern Indiana. It's time to get justice for Sebastian Wayne, Drake Rogers, and all the other missing. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many, and it's crazy how many of these kids are going through these types of things here where they're being failed with mental health issues, with becoming institutionalized, right, when they're very young, because some of these kids go to places like this and then they, end up back in juvie, or they end up back in a place like this. And some of them even end up, going to jail or prison. And it's really, really sad. Um, it's just so sad. But it's so good to see you, Heather Marie. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Well, exactly. And it's the greed. It's the greed, isn't it? It's just the fact that they just want money off of these kids. They don't care. They don't give a crap about these poor kids. They do not care about them. It is so sad.
Which is why I'm going undercover to get this video evidence. And if Provo Canyon really is doing bad things, then first I'm actually going to try and improve their facility. But if they don't want to take my advice and continue being evil for some reason, then I will do whatever I can to make sure they get shut down.
I think it's so funny this part. This is great. And, they do need to be shut down if they're terrorizing kids, if they have these kids in the facility and they are mistreating them. They do not need to stay in business, and especially with some of the practices that we're about to see.
Catalina Lau.
Oh, okay, sorry guys, we got some ads here, but yeah, really, really great stuff. That he's trying to get them to make the facility better for the kids, and that's a really sweet thought.
First heard about this school when a fan reached out to me through email saying he actually went to one of these schools himself and that I need to investigate this place.
Okay, so really quick, I'll just read you guys the email. Sorry about that. Give me a second. Okay, so it says, "Hey Ben, I've been watching your channel for a while. I don't really know how to write this, so I'll just say it. I was sent to Provo Canyon School when I was blank. I was there for blank, and I've never talked about it publicly. When I do bring it up, people usually change the subject or assume I'm exaggerating, so I stopped bringing it up. I'm not asking you to make a video. I just think someone should actually look into that place. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." Wow. And that is so sad right there. That breaks my heart, because if a person goes through such a traumatic experience like this, where they're sent to these schools, it's a horrible thing for people to say that your trauma is non-existent just because it may be a high profile place, or something like that. So, I think it takes a tremendous amount of bravery, and we always talk about that here, to come forward with this stuff. It just does. It takes a lot of courage, and it helps other people tremendously when we share our stories. It's painful for the person who's sharing the story, but it has such a great impact, and I don't think that everyone deserves to hear our trauma at times, but there are also people out there that are listening that do believe what people are saying and do want to hear about it. And so, um, I hate hearing that, people would change the subject on him when he tried to tell his story.
If I was given that option, I would choose to go to jail, like right away. Knowing what I know now, there's no world I would go back to a place like that. You're woken up early in the morning, you're barely fed any food, and I was kept in solitary confinement for like 3 days. Every single aspect of your life, they will critique to make you like bend to their will.
What are the things people get sent there for?
Disobeying your parents at home, headed down a wayward path like my parents said I was.
You said they hire anyone as teachers, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, one of the main things I keep seeing online is that Provo Canyon will hire anyone as a teacher, which is very bad, because normally to be a teacher, you have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. You have to.
Okay, so crazy that they will just hire anyone, just anyone, Diane says, "I believe Paris Hilton was sent to a place like this," and she talks about it in one of her books. Yes, Diane, she was sent to this facility that we're talking about, Provo Canyon School. Yeah, she was sent there, and she's been advocating for it to be shut down, and finally it's been shut down. But I also think that people that can go inside and do these things, like these little sting operations, are also a big reason why it was shut down, right? Because it's exposing them, and they can't, the cameras don't lie. People lie, but the cameras don't lie.
is very bad because normally to be a teacher, you have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. You have to get a state-approved teaching license, and most importantly, you have to have a squeaky clean criminal record if you want to work with kids. So to see what their hiring process is like, I'm going to see if they'll hire my friend Sheldon. So I was thinking, if you want to, would you be down to get hired by one of these companies, and then you'd be like the teacher?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
This is so awesome, guys. So this is Sheldon. He decides that he will try to get hired over at Provo Canyon School, right? And the reason why he's smiling like that is because he's like, there's no way they're going to hire me if they're legit, right? But as we find out, if you're not legit, they will make you legit.
Dang, that might be hard to get into, though.
Sheldon's perfect because I don't think he meets any of these qualifications. First off, he never went to high school, and if you just Google his name, the first thing that comes up about him is he stole a car. I mean, this was a long time ago, and since then, he's gotten sober and completely turned his life around. He's now a very productive member of society. The only thing he gets arrested for now is making GoFundMes.
We're just gonna do this GoFundMe.
You're being arrested.
But the point is, he has probably the worst record ever, and he is definitely not allowed to have this job. So?
Okay. All right, guys. Who's got the worst record ever? Shouldn't have the job. Let me go ahead and go back just a little bit, and I'll read you some of the things on his charges. Now, I don't know if he was convicted of these things or what happened, but it's a little lengthy rap sheet here. Oops, I did a double. All right. So, we have things like obstruction of justice, grand theft auto, disorderly conduct, public nuisance, criminal mischief, right? Some of these things are in Salt Lake City. You kind of see that he's had a bit of some run-ins with the law, but he's a good candidate to see, obviously, if they're going to go ahead and hire him, right? Detroit, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, I was on the edge of my seat watching this. I was like, oh my gosh, no way, So the Shanu Youth Center in Manchester, New Hampshire is just as horrific. There are many finally getting exposed. These youth academies and centers and the whole process of DCS and CPS are getting their reckoning. Shauna, they deserve it. It's so well deserved, right? And I agree with you. We have all of these cases popping up where people are whistleblowing and people are standing up against it. Nobody should ever condone this behavior, right? The people that are running these schools are just making money hand over fist, and they don't care if the kids have adequate food. Like, it is so sad.
And he is definitely not allowed to have this job. So we signed him up.
The interview is in person there.
Each seat is provided with a seatbelt.
We're here in Utah to get this job. Pretty dang nervous. Time to start the spy cameras. Spy camera, spy camera.
I want a spy camera. That is so cool. That is so cool. Okay, so they got the spy cameras rolling. One is going to be like a keychain, right? In his key fob, and the other one are pens. So.
Hello. I have an interview.
And Sheldon's entire interview was only one question.
Let's say you walk in, the code was called, you walk in and you see two kids just fighting. They're just going at it. What would be what would you do in that scenario?
Well, I'm assuming, I would try and break it up as best I could. I mean, I hope that's the right answer at least, but that's what I would try and do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. We do get into restraints. I hope that you would be willing to get your hands a little bit dirty.
Absolutely.
All right. He says, I hope you would be willing to get your hands a little bit dirty. I hope you would be willing to get your hands a little bit dirty. So that means that he's hoping that he will restrain these children like they do. I hope you're willing to do what we do to these kids. That is very dark. you know? And what's done in the dark always comes to light. Exactly. Exactly, Nisi Tincher. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, my PTSD, it always does. The girls' school was officially shut down in July. Provo Canyon was officially shut down on August 16th. Well, wonderful. Yeah. Now, is this, I wonder if this one is co-ed. Is one a girls and then they have another one for the boys? I wonder. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon Marlowe. That is so awesome. Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. Let's do a party. Oh, that's great. So Sharon says, remember, state gets the funds from our taxes. They take a cut, then they give it to the facility, and the board members make three-figure salaries, and they hire the unqualified teachers cheap. Yes, and the children suffer. Exactly, Sharon Marlowe. The children are the ones who suffer for sure. And they do not care. They do not care if these kids are well taken care of. They don't care about fixing the problems that they, originally came in for. They just don't. They don't care as long as they're getting the money. And it just all comes down to money. All the roads lead right back to that. So, thank you so much too for your super chat. I mean, my goodness, my goodness. Yeah, it is disturbing as hell. The Sisters in Crime is here. Hey, Trishy, good to see you. She says, wow, thank you for shining a light on this issue, Lady Freedom. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Like I said, Detroit found these channels, these gems of guys here who are just willing to go do this. I mean, I don't know if I would be able to pull something like this off. I really don't. I don't know if I could do it. Maybe not, the planning part and everything like that, because it's actually really easy. You have to be strategic. The worst part we'll see coming up. The most challenging part of everything. Is the fact that they treat people like they're in prison there. They treat these kids like they're in prison, and this is a facility for 17 and under, right? Or not, it's not for babies or little toddlers or anybody like that, like little kids. But I think it's like 12 to 17 or something like that. They'll say it later on. It's just wild. It is so wild. um and again, and I don't want to go over fair use, so I'm like really trying to stop and pause it, but I would love to just play some of this, like, and not stop so much. So I apologize that I'm stopping a lot, but I just want to stay within that. It's just so interesting. And this is real, tape of a video footage of his interview, and he got a good camera angle and everything. So, oh, thank you, Trishy, for sending the flower. That is so sweet. Yes, they are separate. The girls' school is in Springville. Oh, but they are both run by Provo Canyon. Okay, so this facility that they're talking about is the boys' facility. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Wow, that is so wild. Mm-mm-mm. My goodness. Okay. So are you willing to get your hands dirty with restraints? Ah.
Thanks. Um, I hope that you would be willing to get your hands a little bit dirty.
Absolutely.
Do things.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, that's what he wanted to know. He wanted to know, are you willing to get those hands dirty? Yes, yes, get your snacks, your drinks, and buckle up, right? And oh boy, it is really eye-opening, Detroit. It is. And like I said, I was on the edge of my seat.
I would just wait until you get the call. I feel like you'd be good.
Okay.
All right, so that's all he wanted to know. And then he says, okay, well, just wait till you get the call, right? So that means that he got the job. Basically, just wait for us to call you. And I think that is weird too. And look at how this guy looks. He even looks guilty, like he's doing something he's not supposed to do. I don't know. It's so weird how these evil people operate. It is so weird.
I got the job.
Wait, you got it?
Yeah, I sent you the text. Look how good I got the interview.
The only problem is Sheldon was basically 100% sure that he was going to fail his background check.
Since it's a school with kids, there's like all these extra federal regulations.
But maybe Provo Canyon is so money hungry, they'll just ignore all these federal regulations. Maybe they don't follow the federal regulations, you know?
Yeah.
And so maybe you can just get in because maybe they're breaking the rules. I don't know. We'll see.
The social media.
All right. So 3 weeks later, right? Because they did have him do all the proper background checks and everything, right? So 3 weeks later, here we go.
Officially hired now, or?
Yeah, they verified my education.
I thought you said you weren't going to get hired.
Well, dude, I shouldn't have.
Wow. He's like, okay, dude, I shouldn't have, but I did. I did. Hold on, let me go back to the email.
Check, did they?
Oh, sorry, hold on. I didn't go backwards far enough. Let's see. Okay.
And so maybe you can just get in because maybe they're breaking the rules. I don't know. We'll see. So are you like officially hired now, or?
Yeah, they verified my education.
All right. So it says, Dear Sheldon, congratulations. You have successfully accepted your offer for mental health technician, MHT/BHT at Provo Canyon School. Okay. Even with the rap sheet. Hey, Tam, good to see you. So that is wild in and of itself. This is the first red flag, right? The fact that, well, I should say this is the second red flag, right? 1 question interview, you're hired, we'll give you a call. 3 weeks later, he's hired on. Congratulations, you've successfully accepted your offer for a mental health technician. Lady Freedom, I'm so late. So is this like the whistleblower organization? Well, I didn't get a chance to research these guys a whole lot before talking about. I just watched their videos and I was so amazed. So they are definitely going undercover to try to expose anything that's going on here, if there is, and they are going to propose helping right the situation and making it so it's a better place for the kids, but they don't get that far because this place is just so dirty and so corrupt and just so evil. In my opinion, it's just so evil. Yes, he literally handed him the sheet of the interview questions, but only asked him 1 question. Exactly, Detroit. And it's like, holy cow. So yeah, our first red flag is that, right? The first red flag is look out. 1 question interview. Okay, you're willing to restrain these kids and get your hands dirty, which to me that like makes me sick because I think of like, blood or something like that, and restraining these kids. So but yeah, so somebody with that kind of, and does he have the qualifications? I know probably some people are wondering that too. Tam says, I live 40 miles from Provo Canyon. The company's is called Second Nature. They are intertwined one with one another. Okay, so that's the company that owns Provo Canyon. Okay, the school. Yeah, they are predator. Yes, I agree with that too, Cinderella. I agree. Your hard-earned tax dollars at work, right, Sharon? Exactly. You must know who you vote for. Remember, the DAs allow this instead of investigating. Just like in Sebastian and Summers' case, research who is on your ballots. Exactly. And these guys are running unopposed in Tennessee. It still blows my mind to think that, they don't even have to try, so strange.
Education.
I thought you said you weren't going to get hired.
Well, dude, I shouldn't have.
They didn't give you a background check, did they?
They shouldn't have hired me because I stole a car.
That's crazy. They didn't even question it.
And they said, don't worry, you start. We verified it ourselves. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, shit, I gotta...
Wow. They said you could start because we verified it ourselves. And this is something that is a common theme, guys, with these schools. It's a self-verification process. It's like they verify people that they want in there. This is not an isolated incident. This is actually the norm. This is commonplace with these residential therapeutic centers, treatment facilities, whatever.
Get you a plane ticket and Airbnb and stuff then.
Yeah.
Well, now that Sheldon's an actual teacher at this school, I bought him even more spy cameras so he can
Whoa, he's got all kinds of spy cameras.
secretly film his experience. Now it's time to see if they're actually doing stuff that's illegal. And if they are, that's when I come in and help them improve their facility.
Aw, see, that's such a nice thing to want to do. And, you know, to recognize the need for that. These poor kids are in those facilities. You know, we watched Brooke Harlan and Young Buck on the panel. You know, when they went into those facilities, it was the juvenile centers there in Tennessee, and they said that it was so horrible, these kids, and they bought them pizzas, right? They bought them some pizzas and, you know, let them have a good time in there, just that little bit of a good time and nostalgia, and having, you know, or allowing them to have a time where they feel like kids again, you know. And it is so incredibly sad. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that live, definitely go back and watch it. It was absolutely heartbreaking to hear their story and what they were talking about with the kids and how the kids were reacting, and how there's a lot of, you know, drugs that are, you know, flowing through there, and the whole 9 yards. So
As soon as we pass those doors, you're mine.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Sheldon's first day of training.
okay, guys, so I wanted to give you guys a timestamp on this. It's 5/5, so May 5th of 2025. So this is very recent when this little sting operation happened. Oh, let me show you guys the timestamp really quick. There we go. See, so it's May 5th, 2025, 12:07:41. All right.
Yeah, this is still pretty much Sheldon's first time ever using these spy cameras, so he wasn't really used to it and kind of just filmed the ceiling the whole time. So to make it more entertaining for you guys, this is the actual audio, but I hired an animator to animate over it. So here you go.
What do you think we...
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so they hired this animator. What do you think we do here at Provo Canyon, right? And this is like you said, the actual audio.
Here you go.
What do you think we do here at Provo Canyon?
Your youth residential treatment center.
Yes.
How do the kids feel about being in here?
Not great.
Not great? So they don't like it?
Not usually.
Almost all of our kids have made real and serious attempts to end their lives.
Did you hear that, you guys? They said all of the kids in there have made real and serious attempts to end their own lives. My gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So sad. Hey, Holly, good to see you. Look up body brokers. Body brokers. Okay, Holly, I will. I'll text you later if I forget. If I forget it. A teacher got arrested for trafficking at Stebbins High a couple weeks ago in Ohio. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. It is so heartbreaking.
Parents call in, they're immediately asking, am I getting out? Am I getting out? Am I getting out? Their staff are going, not today, you're not. They want out. That's a high risk time because they're hoping the decision is going to be made to send them home.
But we've had a kid here for maybe like 5 or 6 years.
We've had a kid here for maybe 5 or 6 years. We've had a kid here for maybe 5 or 6 years. Oh my goodness.
What kind of like aftercare do you guys have set up? Because obviously, you know, if he depended on a place for 5 or 6 years, I feel like he's going to be having a really hard time adjusting to real life.
3 typical types of restraints. You have your mechanical, your chemical, and your physical.
You have mechanical, physical, excuse me, I'm sorry, let me go back. Oh my gosh. Okay. So mechanical, chemical, and physical. So I'm imagining mechanical restraints would be like handcuffs and things like that, you know. Chemicals, right? They're giving them whatever kinds of rugs, right? And then physical, they're physically restraining these poor kids, which we know can lead to some unsavory outcomes, some tragic outcomes, you know. It is so, and it's maddening. It is. It makes me so mad. Holly says, when I was working at as a psych nurse, I walked in on an adolescent girl who, oh my goodness. And she had bounced around from place to place like this, and she did survive barely. Oh, good. I'm so glad she survived it. Oh my goodness. You know, and that's why they have to watch over these kids, and especially if they know that's happening all the time. Those poor kids. I can't imagine what it would be like for parents to send a kid to a place like this, you know. And they assure the parents they're not going to deal with have to deal with anything like this, you know. Look at Colin from that reality show. His mom sent him away and the dad couldn't find him. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you know, my PTSD, that's a great point. And it happens more than we think it does, right? Because there's money to be made on these kids. There's lots and lots of money to be made on these kids.
Chemical and your physical. The mechanical is going to be like your tie downs. Your chemical are going to be like the injections, tranquilizers. Guess how many restraints we averaged in a month?
50?
More.
100?
More.
300.
There you go.
Wow, 300 restraints on average in a group.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 250 to 300 restraints is the average.
Wow, 250 to 300 restraints is the average.
A month.
How many kids?
140.
Per month, and there's 140 kids.
Each one would get restrained twice a month?
Yep.
Wow. Each one gets restraints twice a month.
I go up to Shane and I'd say, hey Shane, that's not your chair. I need you to move to your chair. And he doesn't move his chair. The response was, go hands on with Shane for compliance. We were fucking slamming kids all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, we were effing slamming kids all over the place. What in the world? Oh my goodness.
Twice a month?
Yep. I'd go up to Shane and I'd say, hey Shane, that's not your chair. I need you to move to your chair. And he doesn't move his chair. The response was, go hands on with Shane for compliance. We were fucking slamming kids all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry. We were lovely slamming them to the ground.
Wow, do you hear the lady that's laughing in the background? She thinks it's hilarious. These mother heifers. We were lovingly slamming them to the ground, he says, right? After he said we were effing slamming them all around. Lovingly? I wonder how many of those children didn't make it out of there.
What are some staff behaviors that might pose a risk to the facility?
I don't know, they brought up like talking to the media or whatever earlier.
Yeah, no talking to the media. We don't want you to do that. See, they would rather test him on their policies and make sure that their policies are drilled into his head than for him to have any of the proper qualifications to work in the area that he's working in. Don't forget, he is hired as a mental health technician.
All right, so here's some news articles about some Utah facilities. So Utah Troubled Teen Facility sued by parents. This Utah Teen Treatment Center is being monitored and could be shut down. Any media contact you, no comment, but just don't say anything. And then immediately report it to the CEO.
All right. So if there's any media contact or contact, right? Like say a member of the media approaches someone who works there, they are taught to decline, right? An interview, no comment, and then they're to report it to the CEO. Isn't that crazy, MZ? It's crazy. You know? Loving slamming them into the ground. And let me tell you, the is okay, it's Netflix. On Netflix, there is a show called The Program. It is a three-part series, and they show some of these children being restrained because some of the kids that grew up went to the facility after it had been completely shut down. Well, they found a treasure trove of audio, of paper work, right? That of the reprimands and the takedowns and the all of the things that we're witnessing here and they're talking about here, of these children, right, being restrained and being slammed on the ground, and there was also mountains and mountains of evidence of video and uh, audio recordings. Okay, so I didn't know if I said audio as well. But they found all of this at the facility. They collected all of the records, all of the CDs that they had, of security footage for the area, and then they made this documentary, the three-part, and it shows these poor kids getting hurt like this. It is so incredibly infuriating and so sad to watch. And this is the norm. Again, I just want to keep stressing that, um sometimes, did you see the program, my PTSD? The program is a good one to watch because it has all the receipts, because again, like I said, they went in and grabbed them all from that facility when it was shut down. And um it's just completely heartbreaking. So, oh, thank you so much, Trishy. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will definitely check it too. Yeah, the word obviously doesn't mean that they think it means. Yeah, exactly, exactly, Chef Poodles. Yeah, it doesn't mean what they think it means. So they're being told you better keep quiet, right? If you're going to work here, you need to not tell anybody what is happening here.
Provo Canyon is heavy in the media. Okay, please do not respond to any media. We do predict in the next little bit that Provo Canyon media involvement will actually increase.
Why is that?
A little bit ago, we had a new hire that we did not catch in time. That was a private investigator. He wore Cameron glasses with like camera in it. It's corporate hunch that he was hired by Paris Hilton.
Okay, so they had a guy go in there, a private investigator, got hired on, and he had the glasses, right, that have a spy camera in them, and he was able to capture some footage that was incriminating. And they're anticipating the media to have a firestorm, and they are saying that they believe that Paris Hilton hired this person. Well, if she did, good for her. Whoever hired this person, good for them.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's going to court. We do believe it's going to reach like federal high-level court.
Okay, he says we do believe it's going to reach like federal high-level court. Wow.
And so the big president and CEO says I want to come down with the full force of the law. So.
Did you read my text?
No, what happened?
Paris Hilton sent an undercover fucking independent. Someone got caught with spyglasses.
Yeah, the last guy who tried exposing this place is now facing multiple felonies and a prison sentence. But me and Sheldon are already used to this. It's going to take more than a federal lawsuit to stop us.
Okay, guys. So again, these places are going after these whistleblowers and they're citing HIPAA violations, right? Because it is considered medical records that they are privy, not pervy to, but privy to in these facilities, right? So the fact that they're posing as someone that they're not has landed them in some trouble, obviously. Um, and this is from 2/9 of 2023 is the timestamp here. Again, let me take it off. There we go. So this is going to be February 9th, 2023.
Everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You do.
Yeah, to be a mental health instructor here, the training was a complete joke. I mean, pretty much the only thing Sheldon learned was that Paris Hilton is evil. Yeah, I guess this is the high school that Paris Hilton went to. Since graduating, she's pretty much made it her life mission to shut this place down.
Paris Hilton.
Okay. So, and we've covered this topic extensively here because, you know, we all know that Paris Hilton has shut these mother heifers down, and we talked about it earlier too. Yeah, they're suing. They are Detroit. They are suing that guy for HIPAA violations because he recorded the kids without permission. Yes, exactly. And luckily, none of the kids were filmed right in this. Thank God. But also, you know, I'm sure these kids are grateful that people are blowing the whistle. You know, the only ones that are getting bent out of shape are the ones that are doing wrong, in my opinion.
Wants to shut down the Provo Canyon School.
Despite hypothermia and physical beatings from staff, there was no medical care.
It seems like the only thing they want their staff to know when working here is that Paris Hilton is a liar.
Oh, Paris Hilton is a liar, huh? I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Sorry, give me 1 second.
There was no medical care.
It seems like the only thing they want their staff to know when working here is that Paris Hilton is a liar.
Paris Hilton, she came to the Canyon School.
I don't know if you folks have ever heard of a person called Paris Hilton.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a person called Paris Hilton. She's just the heir to one of the biggest, you know, well, I don't know if she's an heir. I've watched a couple of things that suggest that they may not be, but either way, she is super famous, and yes, she was sent to these schools, and she was also chronicling her time when she was put into, you know, the hole herself and how traumatic it was. And Alicia Hotwell's good to see you. CPS hides their bull right behind HIPAA too. Yes, they do. But they hired unqualified mental health instructors with absolutely no qualifications. Exactly. And we're about to see how they got away with this.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. They told us.
I never did watch a special that she had on Netflix. I just never understood. People would say, you should watch it. I said, yeah, I'm good. But even her own sister, Nikki, said, yeah, you belong there. You needed to go to that school. I'll tell you, that public cancer school actually did help her a little bit. Well, a lot.
She never has said that. She has never said that. That guy is a lying sack of poop. She never said that. As a matter of fact, she has always been very vocal about how it was a traumatic experience and how it changed her life forever.
She won't say that in front of everybody else because she did such a big uproar.
I got him calling Paris Hilton a liar, for trying 20 or 30 minutes straight.
It's not parallel. Paris Hilton made it sound. Okay.
So she's a liar.
Well, I guess there actually is one more thing the school wanted their staff to know. How to restrain the kids.
It's just him going again, over 1,000 times today.
Again.
It's literally like brainwashing.
So now the training is complete. But
he said it's literally like brainwashing. And these are the tactics that they use in these schools, guys. So they do it to the kids. They do it to the staff. Right? Because they're not qualified. So they train them exactly how they want to train them. You know, I've worked at a lot of places where people were wanting to hire green people so they could train them the way they wanted to train them.
before they can become mental health professionals, our government requires them to pass a state medical exam. The government does this because, it's pretty obvious. We just want our mental health instructors to know what they're doing. So Sheldon brought his secret cameras to record how Provo Canyon tests its mental health professionals.
You go through this, I cannot give you the answers to these, okay? But I do like apples. I do like bananas. I like cantaloupes. I'm a dog person. So anyways, let's start from number one.
A 67-year-old man is found unresponsive, not breathing, and without a pulse.
Did somebody like cantaloupes and this stuff?
All right, you see what they're doing there? So every time they ask a question, they give the answer out, but they don't obviously say the answer is C. They say, I like cantaloupes, right? Or I walked my dog yesterday, stuff like that, right? So they don't get in trouble.
Cantaloupes. I'm a dog person. So anyways, let's start from number one.
A 67-year-old man is found unresponsive, not breathing, and without a pulse.
Did somebody like cantaloupes and this stuff? I kind of like cantaloupes myself. I'm just saying, you don't have to listen to that. It's up to you.
And yeah, the instructor did this for the entire test.
First, the person giving chest compressions is not allowing for complete chest recoil.
You kind of like dogs? I love dogs. Yes, I do. I have a French bulldog myself. Thank you. I'm just saying. I'm going to eat me an apple in just a little bit. I'm just saying that, okay? You ain't got to listen to me now. It's up to you folks. I'm just saying.
But anyways, even though Sheldon didn't learn anything, he passed his medical test.
Now I'm like certified.
All right, so he passed his medical test because they were giving the answers out. So it's worse than an open book test, right? It's not even an open book test where they have to search for the answers. They're just giving them to them, right? A, B, C, or D. Very, very simple, easy to manipulate. And here's the paperwork that he got. American Heart Association, BLS provider, Sheldon Norcross, has successfully completed the cognitive and skills evaluations in accordance with the curriculum of the American Heart Association, Basic Life Support, CPR, and AED program. Right? They issued that to him on November 21st, 2025. Training center name is Weber State University. They even gave him a training ID number. Training center is going to be in Ogden, Utah. The training phone number is listed here. We also have the training site name, which is Provo Canyon School. And he has to renew the certification by November of 2027. And so it is active for 2 years, right after the issue date, before he has to renew it. Instructor's name is Justin Uale, right? And he has an instructor ID number, an e-card code, and a QR code, right? So to view or verify authenticity, students and employers should scan the QR code and then, on your mobile device, or go to www.heart.org/CPR, right? Gives the whole .org website to go to. 2023 American Heart Association, all rights reserved. Wowza. Crazy. Yeah, he's given them the answer so they can pass the test. Yeah, this is a medical life-saving class. This is crazy. I know. I cannot believe it. And he is certified and was hired as a mental health technician. And there they are giving him the exam and giving him the answers. Thank you, my PTSD, for the stickers. Those are so cute, a little dog bone. Thank you. I'll give that to Django. And the gilded poop. A few nurses here in my state got busted the past couple of years after COVID. Their degrees and licenses were bought and paid for, and it wasn't an actual college. That is so crazy. And, you can see the American Heart Association watermark on this and all. Oh, my gosh.
through like the American Heart Society, even though like we didn't even learn anything and everyone just phased out and they gave us all the answers to the test.
But this is when Sheldon realized that they were catching on to him being a secret undercover agent.
He looked at the watch because I was recording, and he goes, "What kind of watch is that?" But and then when I'm going to get the watch, the fucking key lights up and the room was dark, so it was like super fucking dumbass obvious.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel a little bit uneasy with it because there's a certain thing that's been kind of watching all of us. And I don't know about y'all. This person, this thing just kind of like hangs out. And I'm just like, okay, why is he hanging out like this? He just looks about and he's like, who are all these people here? Who they? Who they?
I fucking started shaking. I've never had that much of a physical reaction to any anxiety. My head was literally twitching, dude. I'm like, this is crazy. And then he picks up a stuffed animal off the shelf and he's like, it's Curious George.
Anyways, I would like you all to meet my friend George.
Wow. Okay, so I'd like for you all to meet my friend George. Okay, so this was June 1st of 2024. So again, very recent when he went through all of this training. Timestamp on this video is June 1st, 2024.
Yes, it'll be George, because George can fly anywhere. Just don't drop him, okay? Oh, whoa, George.
I thought he was talking about me.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it was scary as hell. I've never been that afraid in my whole life as in that moment. He was talking about a goddamn stuffed animal, dude.
Anyways, Sheldon passed his entire week of training.
I'm now a unit staff.
No! And you know what?
Okay, he said he's unit staff now, so they just call him unit staff.
That means Sheldon is now officially a mental health technician at
a mental health technician at Provo Canyon School. That's how easy it was for someone who has zero qualifications and a sorted background, right, rap sheet, to become a mental health technician for troubled children.
Provo Canyon School.
You don't have to commit.
Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and skip-a-roo on that one.
Yeah, my name's Sheldon. I'm swing shift A mental health technician.
Sheldon's gonna be the man for us.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have Sheldon on the inside as an undercover teacher, but at the end of the day, what we're really trying to find out is this place bad for the kids? And the only way to do that is to send in an undercover kid. And then I realized that, yeah, we definitely can't do that. That's super illegal and just morally messed up. So instead of sending in an undercover kid, I'm gonna be an undercover kid.
You cannot go in there, dude. You're gonna go to it's 6 felonies.
Yes, there's a couple problems with me checking myself into this place, such as I just turned 30 years old and the oldest kids they accept here are 17. And Sheldon tried talking.
Okay, guys, and it was 12 to 17 years old.
Me out of the idea for 2 whole days.
Dude, do you think they're really gonna believe you're 17 though, Ben? I mean, don't you think they're gonna want some kind of proof of you being 17?
Sheldon's right. If this place was ethically ran, they would require me at a minimum to provide my birth certificate before accepting me in here. So this is the test. Is Provo Canyon gonna break the law and put a 30-year-old in as a student just because they're money hungry? Or are they gonna follow the law and require that I show proof I'm 17 before accepting me in?
All right, guys. So this is the fork in the road, right? Are they going to do the right thing? Or do they want the money? Yeah, he never went to high school. Great point, Detroit. Oh, my gosh.
I went to the Provo Canyon School website to sign myself up, and right away I saw that I actually can't sign myself up. One of my parents has to do it for me. So I put an ad on Craigslist to see if anyone wanted to play the role as my dad for a super secret project. And no one responded.
All right, so he's having a little bit of trouble trying to get a fake dad.
So not only am I going to have to be the kid, but I will also be playing the role of my own dad. And I just signed myself up. First, they wanted to know why I was signing my kid, aka myself, up for Provo Canyon.
Okay, guys, so diagnostically focused programs at our youth treatment facilities. So they offer substance abuse behavior, attention deficit hyperactivity, anxiety and trauma disorders, social development disorders, conduct and impulsive behavior, mood disorders, including bipolar and depression, oppositional defiant disorder, personality disorders, including borderline, dependent, histrionic, and obsessive compulsive, and reactive attachment disorder. Okay, Provo Canyon Boys School Program specialties. There's my answer, Detroit. Chemical dependency and substance abuse recovery program, uh, dialectical behavior therapy, neuro and biofeedback, and social skills and independent living.
If your kid has a sexual or gender identity disorders. I said my 17-year-old son is having what he calls gay thoughts. Submit. I don't know. I just think it's pretty funny that they still accept people in for being gay when being gay stopped becoming a mental disorder in 1987. Also, conversion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Trishy. They cause those disorders. These kids, no doubt about it, have PTSD after leaving a place like this. They're sadistic. It's a bunch of sadists, you know?
Therapy is banned in Utah, so it would actually be super illegal for them to accept me in because of this. Hello, I would like to sign up my kid for Provo Canyon.
What is your kid are kind of struggling with?
Recently, he's been having some homosexual thoughts. We heard that your school can help with that.
Perfect. And did anyone refer him specifically to residential treatment? Like, is he seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything?
No.
I was just asking because in order to proceed to what we're going to need to do next is kind of review any of his clinical behavior. So if he hasn't been assessed before, that kind of stuff is going to need to happen.
They didn't need a birth certificate or anything?
Not yet, no. She just said I just need a note from a therapist.
And she said homosexual thoughts are a condition to get admitted into a fucking treatment? What are you getting treated for?
My homosexual thoughts. What makes this whole situation even crazier is that literally right after this, I start watching through all the footage and I get to a part in Sheldon's training where they literally tell all of the staff that this is literally a gay-friendly environment.
This is the LGBTQIA plus community. This is gender equality. We're accepting and we're understanding of all gender issues. All right. We treat our kids that are trying to find their identity, figuring out their sexual orientation with respect.
Yeah, it seems like this place isn't against being gay at all. I wonder why they accept me in for being gay then.
Because they want money.
Right? It's because they want money. It's because they're going to tell the parents whatever the parents' problem is that they're having with their child, that they're welcome in, especially if they're writing a check or, giving the card number, giving their card number to them. Hey, Gigi, good morning. Good to see you. So, I mean, that's what these kids are to them. That's all they are to them is money. Hey, Veronica, good to see you. So very interesting and eye-opening.
It seems like they might just accept anyone into this place, as long as they have a doctor or a therapist note. The next step is just get that doctor's note and then call you guys back?
Yeah, I can explain what's kind of going on at home, and if there's at home, those kind of things.
Dang, dude.
That sounds easy enough.
So I just have to go to a doctor and be like, hey, can you write a diagnosis that my kid has gay thoughts?
Yeah.
President Trump says she has the courage and...
So I think that's interesting that they support that. I think it's a good thing. I mean, at least they're not, really using conversion therapy. I think conversion therapy is a crock of crap. And I think it can cause a lot of issues for, children, when they are trying to figure out, who they're becoming, who they want to be. And so I think it's extremely sad, the conversion therapy, and I'm glad that it's not widely used anymore. And there's some pleasant surprises in this documentary about that. So my PTSD says I drool over Joan Jett, so maybe just sign me up. I know. It's like, oh my gosh, and these poor kids, I feel so sorry for them, because it's like they should never have to deal with that, and it is, it's unfortunate. And again, these parents, some of them have good intentions, but they're just, you know, putting them in a situation like Trishy said, where they're going to come out with more issues than they, started with, in my opinion, too.
Conversion therapist. And it turns out there's not many in existence anymore in the United States, but I started calling the few that still do exist. And then I realized that I can't just play my dad and the child at the same time, or else they're definitely going to recognize that it's just the same person playing both roles. And the Craigslist ad to play the role of my dad is still empty. So I got Jordan, the fan that originally told me about this idea, to play the role of my dad.
Hello, this is Dr.
Okay, so this is Jordan, and Jordan, again, because I know I've stopped a lot, but I want to keep it under fair use too. But so Jordan wrote in, and he has had experiences with these schools, and actually, I don't. Detroit, maybe you can help me out, but he's been in other schools as well, right? Because he did say in the one podcast that he was that his parents were selling him off to these schools and stuff like that, I believe. So, but yeah, this is Jordan.
Hi. Hey, my name's Ron, and I have a son that needs to get into some therapy.
But every single time, even the conversion therapist felt bad to send me to this school.
A place called Provo Canyon.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. I'm in the business of helping people make changes.
The fact that no.
Wow, he said, Provo Canyon? No, I'm in the business of helping people make changes, not forcing it upon these kids. That's crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. I'm in the business of helping people make changes.
The fact that no therapist wants to send me to Provo Canyon School actually makes this place seem more credible to me. It seems like to get sent here, you must have to be a really bad kid. But then Sheldon got done with his first day of work, and when he got home, he told me why a lot of the kids got sent to this school.
All the other kids are just normal. Like, one of them's in there for 120 days so far because he used to smoke fucking weed.
That was me. I got sent there for smoking weed.
It seems like a majority of them are just like really annoyed and just completely normal.
This is when I realized maybe it's just hard for me to get sent here because I live in California. The only therapists willing to talk to me are ones with a California license. However, Provo Canyon School is located in Provo, Utah, and according to their own police department, they play differently there.
We play differently here.
This is
Wow. Provo Canyon Police Department said to him, "We play differently here." That was March 9th of 2026. March 9th of 2026. Let's back that up. This is body-worn camera footage of a police officer saying that they do things differently in Utah.
the only therapists willing to talk to me are ones with a California license. However, Provo Canyon School is located in Provo, Utah, and according to their own police department, they play differently there.
We play differently here.
This is the exact same city that's currently trying to put me in prison for years, all because I tried to get a few Mormons to return Legos they stole. It's weird.
All right, so I don't know the whole story about the Legos and the Mormons, but I do know that there is a high level of corruption in Utah. That state is very strange, in my opinion, and I'm not, hating on anybody or throwing shade at anybody who lives in Utah. But I'll just say that there are a lot of those types of schools in Utah, and they have a lot of stories that come out of there like this. We also saw what happened in the body-worn camera of Gabby Petito, of the interaction with her and Brian Laundrie. So it's just it's very interesting that a policeman would be caught on a body worn camera saying something like that.
Weird how all the conversion therapists in California can see this place as a big red flag. But in Utah, therapists seem to be sending patients here all the time, just for like the smallest things. If only I lived in Utah, it'd be super easy for me to get in, but I don't. I live in California. So I'm gonna have to be extra convincing with the next conversion therapist. But luckily for me, someone finally actually replied to my Craigslist ad.
All right, he found his dad. His dad replied. He found his dad. Great job. All right, that is too
Catalina
funny.
laughed.
That is too funny. So he got a Craigslist ad to answer his ad, and now they are going to try to get him into the school. They're going to try to convince a therapist to write a letter, a recommendation letter for Provo Canyon school. Oh, let me go ahead. Oh, there we go.
So basically, yeah, I'm gonna be playing your son, I guess, and
Okay.
in 5 minutes after meeting my dad, it was time to get on this call.
I want to catch him looking at porn when it involves women. I want that.
Oh my.
That would make me feel like that would brighten my life. Fortunately, it was the other way around the other day.
One of the main things which I would recommend is for your son called Reckless Ben to just do more community service.
So I don't know. My dad wants to send me to this school that he thinks like help my gay thoughts and stuff.
What's this school called?
Provo, PR. Wait, son, what is it again?
Provo Canyon.
Yes.
They had a high ropes course that looked kind of cool.
You can't be gay rock climbing. They just want to help, and we need your signature. We need your recommendation for that to happen.
And I would love to make that recommendation, but it's something I can't do.
Yeah, even with the professional actor, we couldn't convince this guy to recommend me for Provo Canyon. But this guy from Craigslist is a professional. He was not gonna take no for an answer.
The decision that I've made is that I do want to send him to Provo. I need you to see that I am in pain, that we are in turmoil in our home, and we can fix it. There's an entity out there that can help us. You're a good man and you do good things, and this is a blessing that you have this gift to do this. I'm begging you.
I think your dad will never let this go, so why don't you go for like 2 months just to convince him and just get out.
So, my therapist wrote up a letter of recommendation.
Bingo. Okay, bingo. Bingo, bango. They got it. All right. And it took a little bit of doing, but there's a little bit of roadblocks here and there. But it was fairly simple, in my opinion, and really fast. I mean, it's fast if you're not the one working there. Obviously, when you're working there and you're having to play the bad guy and you're not a bad guy, it's going to be like, an eternity. Detroit says that Jordan is a victim of trafficking by his mother. Oh my God. Oh my word. To other schools besides this one. But his story is very sad. He tells more about what he went through after. There is more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's just so sad. So I wanted to make sure I remembered that correctly because I binge watched these today. So sad. Yeah. I mean, I bet you, I bet you Utah is very pretty. Like, I bet you it's a very pretty state. Um, obviously I was born in Albuquerque, so those states are just so pretty, the mountains and things like that. Um, but I wouldn't choose to live in that area. Um, Detroit says, lady, but this whole thing together in a matter of few hours, so I don't want to get ahead of her telling the little story. Thank you. Thank you, Detroit. I know I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because of that too. Because I've watched all of these and I'm just so fascinated by it because it does solidify some of my theory on what could have happened with Sebastian. He's out there in one of these schools, and it also helps to support some of the thought process behind how that could have happened because Sebastian's got a $50,000 reward through the FBI. That does not escape me when I'm theorizing, but I just find it interesting everything that's come out, and the way that it's so simple, and they train these people to be exactly who they need them to be rather than hiring professionals who have the correct credentials. Functional impairment, the conflict surrounding his identity and his inability to reconcile these feelings within the family system has resulted in escalating arguments and emotional dysregulation within the home. Doing very poorly in school, increasing impulsivity and unsafe behaviors when emotionally overwhelmed, verbal statements indicating hopelessness and feeling, quote, out of control, end quote. Family breakdown that has destabilized the home environment and placed him at risk. Refusal to participate in outpatient coping skills interventions. His distress is not limited to internal questioning. It is producing clinically significant impairment in social, academic, and family functioning. Meeting DSM 5 criteria for adjustment disorder with disturbance of emotional conduct. This is what this doctor's recommendation states for this facility, right? They need a doctor's note to bring them into the facility here at Provo Canyon. This is the criteria they must fit, and they've achieved that. And this is the reason why the doctor is referring this patient, right, quote unquote patient, this 30-year-old man, child, presumably, right, to get into this facility in Provo Canyon School. Lower levels of care have failed. Over the past 8 months, we have attempted weekly individual therapy, family therapy sessions, a structured behavioral plan, school-based counseling, short-term crisis counseling during acute episodes. Now, with that being said, Katie and Chris, or whoever, whatever, they could have posed as parents of Sebastian, right? Like Seth is in the picture, in my opinion, right? They could have posed like that and gotten Sebastian in because Sebastian was doing weekly therapies. Sebastian was doing family therapy stuff. Sebastian was, well, I guess I should say I'm assuming that based on like the FST and things like that. Maybe they didn't do a damn thing. Maybe they didn't do a damn thing. So I guess I should backtrack on that one. But this is exactly why I think that they could, because they had the documentation that they were trying everything they could, and this was, their last resort. Despite these efforts, Benjamin continues to struggle with intense emotional conflict that the family is not equipped to manage safely at home. His symptoms have not improved with outpatient treatment and have instead escalated. Right, so this is the doctor's note that they needed to get them him into the school.
Oh, he made a document and signed it. Yeah. Sexual identity confusion, which has been described as unwanted. We might actually get accepted.
I cannot believe you guys just badgered him into signing it. So they're gonna let you in for having homosexual thoughts.
I guess so.
After we submitted all the paperwork from the licensed therapist, they gave us a packet of how awesome the school is going to be for me when I arrive. There's a
Okay, guys, so there's a swimming pool right? This is the picture. These are the pictures, excuse me, from the pamphlets.
Swimming pool. There's a high ropes course. This place looks like a summer camp. Also in the packet, there's a daily schedule for what I'll be doing. And there's actually some pretty interesting things in it.
Okay, so we'll just go over kind of what their day is supposed to look like. They wake up at 7, they do their chores, they have breakfast, so for an hour. Then they have their breakfast at 8, they do goals group, right? Then they go to school. Then they have individual therapy, lunch, psycho ed group. They have school, community meeting, physical time, showers and homework time, dinner, and then team building privilege time. Okay. Now this is all early until 6 p.m.
There's a daily schedule for what I'll be doing. And there's actually some pretty interesting things in it. This place is kind of expensive.
Okay, so it's $1,500 per day. And when we talked about and listened to Brooke Harlan's channel, and it's a misrepresented podcast, MISS represented podcast. She, her guest quoted 12,000 per day per child. So this is only 3,000 more this is only 300 more than what she's proposing. So in my opinion, it's so close that it makes it more believable, in my opinion, because we're looking at a cost per day for these children. And this is about what some of these places were quoted to be in Tennessee. And this is a snapshot of Provo Canyon in Utah.
About $1,500 per day. But if this place promises to turn bad kids into good kids and the kids can have a bunch of fun while doing it, for a lot of families, the price is worth it. However,
well, if they can swing it. But here's the thing, again, on Mr. and Mrs. E's podcast, Seth, actually, I think it was just Tony that time. Tony was talking about some schools, right, that were recommended. And I believe that the tuition was about what we're looking at here also. And again, some of these places will take government insurance. Like, Sharon Marlowe was saying, I mean, that's what our tax dollars are going towards. But they also get money for mental health. So if it's a mental health issue for the child, some of that money can be delegated toward helping the child, right? And giving that money, they're getting that money too. So they're just making money hand over fist on these children, and it was too much money for Katie and Chris and Seth. And that's according to Seth. Seth was like, it was too much money, right, for all of us, that when he proposed these 4 other alternative schools to Chris and Katie via email correspondence, they declined because of the cost, right? They said they couldn't afford it. And so Seth said, well, I can't afford it either, right? Well, not on my own, at least, right? And so that put the kibosh on that, but that doesn't mean that it stopped there. And again, the reason why they were proposing Bledsoe Youth Academy is because it would have been paid for by DCS referral. It's already going to be funded by the government, by the state.
Sheldon has been working here for a few days now, and he says the reality of what's happening is just a tiny bit different than what's been advertised.
There's no high rope course. There's no pool.
But on my schedule, it says that there is a pool. It says there's a high ropes course, and there's like physical activity time. And
is never. I have that on audio too. The manager said it's never getting reopened.
Swimming pool. Right now, it's just our big hole in the ground. There's no water in it. There's a crack.
This expired in fucking June, and this is what they were giving the kids. They said they got unlimited Thanksgiving dinner, and you know what they got for dinner?
What?
2 frozen Uncrustables.
Oh my gosh. gave them 2 frozen Uncrustables, but they're collecting money for these children, $1,500 a day for these kiddos. And they're telling their parents they're going to get a big turkey dinner for Thanksgiving, and this for Thanksgiving, and this is what they're given. Boy, that was a lot to say. Poor kids. What the hell? I'd like to whip one of those guys. Just whip a frozen Uncrustable at them, right? Get me a slingshot. North Idaho, Trishy, like the cold. Oh, sorry, private conversation. Sorry, guys. Our taxes pay for it. Period. Yeah. For those who cannot pay, so your health insurance rises because you are subsidizing this care. So yes, you are paying for it. Yeah, absolutely. We're paying for these poor kids, to have nothing too. Like, they're just lining their pockets. They don't care. They're giving them expired food. That looks expired as fuck to me. Oh, sorry. That looks expired as all get out to me. You have that peanut butter. What is that? That is some crusty ass shit right there. Oh my goodness. They have a transportation system that will come and kidnap your child in the middle of the night. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Detroit. I'm sure they pay extra for that convenience. And they're not allowed to take anything with them. They're not allowed to take anything with them. And I believe Sebastian still has his glasses. Or did at that time. Just not his shoes. Tam, I have a lot of peeps from my ward here in Cali moved to Utah or Idaho. Summers are good in Idaho, but scary cold in the winter. Oh, yeah, that's too cold for me, Trisha, Oh, my goodness. Yeah, how terrible is this? Oh, my goodness. My goodness, my goodness.
Okay, so the food could definitely use some improvement, but at least they get a good education, right? Well, they never taught Sheldon how to teach. All the teachers Sheldon shadowed were just playing brain rot TikToks for the kids.
All they do is watch brain rot. Like, that's all they do.
So yeah, it looks like this is what your kids are going to be learning if...
Wow. So they're just playing TikTok videos for these kids, not even teaching them a darn thing.
You send your kids to Provo Canyon School.
I wonder how they do the testing there. They probably do the standardized testing the same way. They probably do it the same way, giving the kids the answers.
Reading through my packet, Sheldon said basically everything they're advertising to me is a lie. So they go to bed at 9 p.m.?
They go to bed way earlier than that. Dude puts them to bed at 7:30, bro.
Okay, they go to bed at 7:30.
Really? Because
I swear
at 8 p.m.
I have it on audio. He's like, I just put him to bed at 7:30 because I don't want to deal with him that much longer.
What, he said that?
Yeah, he was smiling. He thought it was funny.
So, do they have physical time from 3:30 to 4:30?
See, that's the thing. It's so stupid it's giving you a schedule like that. They just lie.
But false advertising doesn't seem to be the only problem, because I guess they just hire anyone. It seems like all the people who are supposed to be trained professionals have no clue what they're doing.
Today, the nurse in my class was arguing with me. I got it on video. Like, he's arguing with me that you can't overdose on Tylenol. So he needs to know that is actually, like, really bad that he thinks you cannot overdose on Tylenol. Like, what an overdose is, you took too much of a... It's over the dose. The two words.
Oh, sorry, guys. We got an ad. So, wow, I just can't even believe what they've done here, what they're doing.
The last thing I have to do before I'm accepted in as an official student is I have to do one more interview with my dad to make sure we're a good fit. And Sheldon was getting a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to make it in as a student.
What would suck is if you didn't get in, and I've just been stuck here.
So, to make me seem like the most rebellious kid in the entire world, I dyed my hair red.
See, he has red hair. He does not have red hair. He has black hair. He's Caucasian.
but he dyed it red. It was just a few days ago.
Ben, do you want to say anything?
First off, he said my hair was red, but it's clearly orange. As you can see, it was like, you can see it's like he doesn't even like respect me, you know. It's like, after this interview, Provo Canyon said they'd get back to me in a week.
Wow. So it only took them a week now at this point to for them to get back to him.
The only problem is this place is getting really depressing for Sheldon. He doesn't even know if he can last another day inside this place.
What if I just fly up tomorrow, dude?
That would be fucking awesome. This sucks.
Yeah, I'll just fly up tomorrow and we'll just figure it out.
Oh my goodness. So he's going to head over there because, you know, Sheldon's going crazy. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. You know, he hates being there.
I'll just show up to the school and I'll be like, hey, accept me, dude. And they'll just accept me or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, let's do it, I guess. It's not gonna work.
But the next morning, before my flight, Sheldon called me with some devastating news.
I just got fired.
Really?
Dear applicant, Health and Human Services, Office of Background Processing, completed your background check. Because of these findings, you're not eligible to have direct access to children and or vulnerable adults.
That's crazy that they still let you work there even before doing the background search.
Oh my God. The HR manager said it was a rough situation and no one has talked about dismissing you.
Dang.
I'm not fired. Normally you fail the background check and you're fired. I mean, normally you don't start until the background check comes back good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's so weird they just put you on.
So even though Provo Canyon found out Sheldon wasn't allowed to work with kids, they just let him keep working anyways, which is super illegal. If someone happened to put all of this evidence in a YouTube video and released it for the entire world to see, I mean, this could completely shut the school down.
They have now sunk their ship through their own greed.
Exactly. They are so greedy, and it all comes down to that filthy, disgusting greed.
Because they wouldn't need to keep me right now if they paid a decent wage. They would have enough workers.
If Provo Canyon School is too money hungry to fire Sheldon, then maybe they're too money hungry to do a background check on me, and they'll...
All right. So I believe they are very money hungry, right? It's just mind blowing. So they're just money hungry and they're underpaying. So they're cutting corners everywhere they can when it comes to the food they serve the kids, when it comes to the care that the kids are given. They are cutting costs everywhere they can.
Just blindly accept me in as a 30-year-old. So I ended up getting on my plane flight and flew all the way to Provo, Utah.
Bro, after how genuine I've been, they're gonna have trust issues for the rest of their lives after this.
Okay. But now, I have to solve a problem that I've been putting off this entire time. Money.
We have a published rate of $1,500 per day.
Yeah. It doesn't help that literally every single video series I've ever put on YouTube has either been demonetized or completely removed.
My last video got taken down, incorrectly taken down. Shadow ban me
YouTube
again.
keeps taking down all my videos.
They removed 3 of my videos. Right now, I'm 100% censored.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, I hope my video doesn't get taken down by because I'm reviewing these guys, right? No, I think they're doing a great job, and I think they're extremely brave for doing all of this, and it takes a lot of strategy and thinking to pull this off. They're doing a great job, but I feel so bad for this guy. He's like throwing his ramen against the wall or whatever it was. YouTube good. Makes you feel like that a lot. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that about my boss here. But no, I've felt like rage quitting many times, and they just don't pay nearly enough. And then when they do that, and and also it sucks because especially with the content that we talk about here, it can be some really crap gutter type stuff, right? Like when we talk about the baby curls, when we talk about just the whole, it's viewer discretion advised all day, and so it's really it's sad. It's sad content, in my opinion. It really is.
Yeah, at the time of filming this, I had a little over $2,000 in my bank account, and with the price of $1,500 per day, I can't even be in here for 2 days. But here's the really bad news.
You have to pay one tuition in advance throughout your child's stay. So you also will be paying for January. So due today at time of admission, it's going to be $49,400.
Dang, dude. We can't spend $49,000 on this.
On a deposit?
49,500. 49,500 for a deposit. Woo-wee.
January. So due today at time of admission, it's going to be $49,400.
$49,400 just to get signed up, just for admission. Price of admission.
Dang, dude. We can't spend $49,000 on this.
On a deposit? Yeah.
Can you believe it's that fucking expensive, dude?
I definitely don't have that type of money. For 1 month, $49,000.
We'll need a whole 2 months paid in advance to let you in.
Yeah, this is going to be a
All right. 2 months paid up in advance just to get in.
problem. There's not a chance in the world that I'm finding this type of money anytime soon. But I already flew out here, so I have to think of a plan of how to trick them into letting me in.
It's gonna work, don't worry. We'll figure this out. If I truly was money hungry, I would wait the day to get the $49,000.
And that's the plan. I give them a fake credit card so it definitely declines. I'll tell them that, hey, you guys should just let me in, and if you guys can wait just 2 business days, my bank will approve it.
Wow. Okay. So I love how it uses McLovin's ID. McLovin's fake ID, right? That's hilarious. Superbad is one of the funniest movies out there. Okay. So anyway, McLovin. All right. So he is going to try to pull off, this crazy little, situation here, and what he's going to do is mind-blowing too. This whole thing is completely mind-blowing in my opinion. It is insanity, but like he said, if they're really money hungry, they will do this, right? They'll take the bait. They'll take the bait all day. It's like the trick with when you put money on the end of a fishing line. You just reel it in and the person's following after it. Damn greedy little bitches. Tam says, Lady Freedom Church comes early. I need to shut my shut eye. Oh, good night, Tam. Thank you so much for being here. Tam. Ann Brock, it's so good to see you. Hey, Ann Brock. And Detroit says they had to cut out a load of content to put this early because Provo is appealing the shutdown. So they have much more, but he can't post it here. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. They had to act quickly and get this out to the masses. All right, good. I hope that they don't mind me, reviewing it and putting it out to us, all of us out here, and definitely go and sub up. This is Reckless Ben. And I'm sorry for getting these links on the fly too, mods, because I know, but sub up to Reckless Ben. He's the one with the red hair, right? Or the orange hair. Whoops, my bad. And then we also have, let me go back one. Give me a second. Okay, I go back a couple. Okay, Sheldon Norcross. So we got Sheldon, and here we go. Copy. All right. So go sub up to Sheldon Norcross as well. And these are the two guys that have kind of infiltrated. And Detroit, does Jordan have his own page too? Because I would gladly drop the link. Oh, thank you, Witchy Mama. So Sheldon is our teacher, right? / mental health technician. And so there you have it. Thank you so much. And then we also have Reckless Ben, Reckless Ben. So yeah, oh my goodness. I'm like I was just on the edge of my seat with this. This is so amazing how they were able to pull this off, right? And it's not without a hitch or anything, but they definitely were able to get the get enough done here.
Okay, so let's start with the first credit card, $49,400. And how much do you want to put on this card?
Everything. There's definitely enough money.
It declined.
It declined?
Yeah, probably because it's so big.
Okay, I'll give him a call right now. So I had a fake conversation with my bank to learn that there was fraud put on this fake credit card.
Hi.
Hi, I just called my bank. It came up as fraud, actually.
Yeah.
Right when the 48 hours is up, I can just send it right then. They said I'll get it within 48 hours. Then they did say they'll approve the purchase.
All right, so he's like, okay, they did say they're going to approve the purchase. So, you know, can we just go ahead and get this ball rolling?
And the money's there.
Yeah, no, I believe that because it's, like I said, it happens all the time. But unfortunately, I can't approve an admission unless I have the child funds intact.
Yeah, they still said they can't accept me in until they receive the payment. So I'm gonna add some extra pressure. I told them that I'm leaving on a work trip to an uninhabited island with no cell phone service. So they have to accept me in now, or they'll never get me as a student to their school.
Oh, so he calls a bluff here. He starts bluffing rather. He's a bluffing right here. You have to watch the other ones. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to watch the other. I'm gonna listen to the other one you sent me to, Detroit. I'm gonna listen tonight after the live. So yeah. I've been sitting on my hands chewing a hole in my lip. Shit. I know, Witchy Mama. It is just insane. It is insane, the way that it all went down like this. Just pure genius in my opinion. But they're like, we're gonna lose him if we don't, get him in here now.
Cool. I actually leave for a work trip today, so it has to be today or else I don't know how I'm gonna get it in there.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me figure it out for you. Hold on.
Watch baseball all season long.
Oh, sorry guys. Let's get this ad going. Yeah, so interesting. She's like, hold on a second. Let me see what I could do here for you.
Yeah, they ain't calling back, bro. I'm telling you, there's like a...
They're calling back. You said they weren't calling back. They're calling back. Hello?
I'm going to go ahead and approve the admission for tonight.
Wow. So she said, I'll approve the admission for tonight.
How does everything you do work? This wouldn't work for anybody else on the entire planet.
I don't think it would ever work for me, but obviously they got lucky. And again, it's the dollar, it's the dollar being thrown out there, cast out there, and the person comes along walking, oh, okay, and reel it in. They'll follow that money. Oh, you betcha. Okay, she's available at 3:30.
Available at 3:30 if you guys could be down here by 3:30 to start his admit process.
Okay. It's 1:36 right now. We have till 3. We have like an hour to figure this all out. How are we gonna get the spy cameras in? Yeah, we probably should have figured this out sooner, but we definitely can't use the spy pen Sheldon's been using because they don't let students use pens here.
Pens, scissors, pencils. They are not allowed pens. They are not allowed scissors. They're allowed golf pencils.
The only spy camera we thought would work was the spy camera button. There's only one problem. I remember Sheldon telling me that if I go in with spy cameras, I'm definitely getting busted.
They're gonna notice you having spy cameras, bro. You can't even shower without them standing 10 feet away.
So I thought the best place to hide the spy camera would be to make a hole in my shoe. But Sheldon was very adamant that even if I put the spy cameras in my shoe, they're still gonna find it.
It's crazy. It is literally like a Supermax fucking prison, dude. They strip search you. They search everything.
Prison. Oh my gosh, these are kids. These are 12 to 17-year-olds. 12 to 17-year-olds.
At this point, I would just keister it, like, honestly, literally, like...
They're still gonna wand me down and it's still gonna go off. We were running out of time until I had to go in. So we just had to make up an idea on the spot of how to get me cameras in after I get strip searched. Here's the plan of what we came up with. It's not the best idea, but it is an idea. We open a bag of chips, put the cameras inside the chips, vacuum seal the chips shut, and mix it in with a bunch of other chips so they blend in. And then Sheldon will just go around the building, handing out chips to all the kids, and hopefully he hands me the bag with the cameras inside, and that's the plan. I guess day one, I'm not gonna have any video, so I just have to like recap what happens in like a story or something, I guess. And then day two, I will hopefully have a camera if the chips work. Dude, this is so stressful. Okay. Okay, see you, Sheldon. See you, man, dude.
All right, so they're taking a huge risk here. And they've had to take a couple of, really huge risks, another with the payment and everything else. Buckle up because there's way more to watch. But yeah, so they're taking a huge risk, but I do think that this is a very smart strategy. So let's see if they can pull it off.
Oh, okay. Okay, now that Sheldon's gone, I'm actually starting to get pretty nervous. I was getting nervous to go inside. I remember Sheldon explaining to me how hard it would be to escape.
That wall, huge, super hard to jump.
Really? How tall is it?
Probably 12 or 13 feet without a single grip. You're not going to be able to escape. It's going to be like really hard.
And if I can't escape, I'm going to be forced to pay for a month of this place, which I definitely can't afford that. And if I attempt to escape and get caught, there's going to be really bad consequences for me.
If you try and run, they shut down in the entire facility. Everybody's on what they call Cat 5 silence. There's no escaping. There's no escaping. There's maybe the illusion of escape that you can create in your mind, but there's no physical escape. People have tried. They've regretted it. They go straight to intervention, which is solitary confinement. There's no way to escape.
Yeah.
Aw, this poor guy. I feel so bad for Jordan. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much, Detroit. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Jordan. And he's like, there's an illusion of escape, right? But look, just like we covered that facility in Virginia where there were 8 kids altogether, I believe. I think it was like 5 girls and 3 boys that escaped. And these kids are always escaping from these places, right? But they always nab them and bring them back. And even when they're found, they send them right back. It's so sad.
Yeah, Provo Canyon literally has a room specifically designed for kids that don't follow the rules. If you go into his spy camera footage, this is what the boss had to say about this place.
They don't even go to class, they just stay in state.
Yeah, I know, that's fun. Not very fun. Terrible. Yeah.
But, they don't go out, they don't go yeah, but when they want to act the way they do, that's what they get.
Yeah.
On Sheldon's very first day of being a mental health professional, one of the kids actually tried to escape.
A kid escaped, and then right as I was leaving, I was about to FaceTime you, the cop rolled up, and she's like, I got in the back. And now he gets put in the gulag for 2 months.
For 2 months?
Yeah, I got it all. The audio today is crazy, dude.
This one kid who ran away, the police brought him back. He was in there for like 2 months, I swear.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We can't talk to anyone for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, and they call it the gulag. And he said you can't talk to anybody for 2 months. And he's like, yeah, you can't talk to anybody for 2 months in the gulag. So that's like the hole of the shoe.
Basically, yeah.
But as Sheldon kept working, he saw more reasons why kids were getting sent to this room.
Locked a kid in solitary for stealing a bag of chips.
How long do you think he'll be in there? Till he admits?
Or a week. Usually.
Yeah, okay.
If he behaves, it'll be a week. If he continues to be a dumbass, it'll be longer.
Dang. He stole
Wow, because he stole some chips, guys, and they're hungry.
chips. He's screwed, huh? Wow.
The part that really sucks about this for me is how am I going to investigate this place? If I ask a single question they don't like, they're going to throw me into solitary confinement. But I was running out of time. And the time ran out. I couldn't film it, but I checked myself in to Provo Canyon School.
Yo, what up, everyone? We're about to check to make sure we got the footage of Ben, because I don't think anyone's gonna believe that this actually worked. Oh my god. We fucking did it, boys. We got Ben in there. This is insane. Like, this is actually literally like, sounds like something someone made up. I am so nervous. Brought chips for everyone. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Sheldon spent the entire day roaming the halls of Provo Canyon trying to find me.
what if they said, you know, well, you're not allowed to bring chips in for the kids or something like that. Like this is so risky, but I'm glad they tried it. So June 2nd, 2024 is when this is happening, and there's a timestamp at the bottom, left hand corner of your screen.
And finally, he found me.
Oh, hey, man. Hey, I get chips out to everybody. But you're on Alta, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sick. Cool. Where are you guys? Well, I was actually, I'm not on Alta. I was actually...
But right after he gave me these chips, he heard over his radio that they called in a search to find contraband materials on my unit.
I heard him call a unit search right after I gave him the chips. I'm like, damn it.
So I have this spy camera button, but I don't have this red jacket I'm wearing right here with the button gun anymore. Because I guess when they strip searched me, they took it to look for contraband materials and they just forgot to give it back. So this entire time I've been asking for it back and they never give it to me for some reason.
They said it was supposed to be yesterday and they still haven't got it yet.
And she's not here?
I guess not. They keep saying it's supposed to be yesterday, and they kept saying, oh, it'll be done by 9 a.m. today, it'll be done by noon today, it'll be done by 3 p.m. today. And you know,
I'll go and talk to someone and see what we can do.
But before the teacher could get me my shirt, they did a check on my room for unauthorized contraband. They made all of us fold our pockets inside out. But little did they know, I had 2 pairs of pants on, and the spy button was actually inside my inside pair of pants pockets. So I spent the rest of the day filming inside my pocket because they still didn't give me my shirt back, but eventually they let us have a small break outside.
All right, so here's the deal. I want everyone to do some sort of, what is it, physical activity. Don't sit in there and just look at the sun or let the sun look at you. I'm not fucking around. Just pace, Ben. Just pace around. Go pick up a basketball, dribble it around. Not because I think you're overweight, because I want you to waste your energy so I don't have to deal with your goddamn hyperactivity. You're gonna.
Gosh, so I don't have to deal with your GD hyperactivity? What? Aw, thank you, Detroit. Yeah, Straight Outta BS podcast. I love that. That's Jordan's channel. So go sub up to Jordan's channel, guys. And again, you know, all of these creators have done a great job of, you know, putting this out here and spreading awareness. This is very eye-opening.
So I picked up a basketball and airballed it so hard it landed on the other side of the fence. The fence had mesh on it, so I couldn't hop it. So I climbed this little basketball hoop right here and hopped all the way to the other side.
Hey! I'm getting the ball. I'm getting the ball. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I ran through random backyards and houses, and eventually I made it to the city, where I went into a random restaurant and hid in their bathroom. When the coast was clear, I borrowed an employee's phone to text Sheldon and told him to come pick me up.
Yeah! We did it! Yeah! Oh yeah! I was so worried about you, dude! We made it!
All right, so they did it. They did it, right? They got some footage. They pulled it off. They got the cameras in, right? And then he was able to escape. Wow.
Yeah!
While we were waiting for my 5-star level to cool down a little bit, I decided to recap what went on inside.
Yeah, I was in the gulag for the first day and a half.
Yeah, that had to suck.
Yeah, I was in there for like 30 hours.
But finally, after 30 hours of solitary confinement, just so they could get rid of my gay thoughts, they finally thought it was safe to put me in a classroom. The only problem is we didn't learn anything. The teacher pulled me to the side and told me that this is what school was going to be like for me.
School over here is going to be kind of... It's going to be kind of demeaning and embarrassing, so... Really?
Yeah, we didn't learn a single thing. Basically, the entire day was just us sitting in a room and the teacher...
All right, so the teacher pulls him aside and says, this is going to be demeaning for you. Wow. That's setting the expectations real high.
Teacher threatening us of how bad it was going to be for us if we misbehaved.
Probably get fired. I don't have the patience to talk to people. I would just restrain people.
The crazy thing is none of the kids were even misbehaving. The teacher just was getting some type of power trip from telling all the kids how bad it was about to be for all of us.
Have you guys been diagnosed with anxiety? Yes, yeah. The anxiety, it'll kick in.
He breathed the wrong way. He's on your ass.
He will sit right next to you, and he will whisper things to you that you would go ahead and just make you realize that you are in a different environment. He would sit down and just tell you things in the ears, and then you would listen to those things and understand that you're in a different environment now.
He will flip, legitimately flip out.
It's not like we were busy doing something. It's not like we were misbehaving. He was literally just trying to.
Isn't that so crazy? Oh my goodness, right? Holy cow. Holy cow. Wow.
Power trip us. So I went 17 hours without peeing, right? And then we get back, and the first thing he says is like, I don't want anyone to ask me if you can use the bathroom. And I'm like, shoot, I want to ask to use the bathroom so bad, but I know he's going to blow up on me if I ask to use the bathroom. But finally, it's 7 p.m. I guess this guy got tired of verbally torturing us and told us to go to bed without learning a single thing in school.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go to bed. Stay in your bed. Keep your mouth shut.
And after 13 hours of sleep, this is my alarm.
All right, everyone, shut up and line up. Shut the doors. I don't want to see any doors open in the rooms if there's no one in there.
Did you tell everyone you were in there for gay thoughts?
I was like, my dad sent me here because he thinks I'm gay because I've never had a girlfriend before. He's like, that sucks that you're here, but like, we just had someone else that was here. His dad sent him here because he's like super Christian. I guess he was gay or something. He sent him here, and he's like, what you're going through is like not unusual.
Wow, do you have that on audio?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you, what did they send you here for?
I don't have any like friends that are girls, so I think he thought I was gay maybe.
Huh? Really? Okay, well, I don't really care. No one in here cares. Everyone here sucks equally. I had a kid at Hillville from California. Exactly the same issue. Parents were Christians. They had a Christian school from California.
As we were having this conversation, we were passing the high ropes course.
We did the high ropes course.
What was that?
We did the high ropes course.
No, they haven't used that since the 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, why is it here if we can't do it?
Attitude. No, that's a nice pool though, huh?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's the indoor pool or the outdoor pool.
Oh, can we go there after this?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Wow. They're laughing at him. Oh, it doesn't work. You can't do that. And he's like, what? Well, why is it here if we can't use it? And they're both like, attitude. What the hell? I mean, they like to bully and gang up on these kids, obviously. And it's not a bad attitude to ask a question, right? Wait, why is it here if we can't do it?
We can't do it.
Attitude. No, that's a nice pool though, huh?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's the indoor pool or the outdoor pool.
Oh, can we go there after this?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. How does the pool not work?
Because there's a crack at the bottom of the base.
Did they fix it?
That's been broken for a couple of years now.
Why didn't they fix it?
Because it costs, I think they said it was going to cost like $50,000.
That's only one day for like 30 kids.
Yeah. They're never going to fix it.
Really? Why not?
They'd rather just spend like cheap money.
What happens when a kid escapes?
The cops are out looking for him.
Wait, the cops are looking for me right now?
Yeah.
Am I like an Amber Alert?
Yeah. They said 10-11 at a high school for a possible runaway.
What's that? Was it 10-11?
I have no idea.
Anyways, I ended up just flying home, and now I'm back in Los Angeles. And 2 days later, they called the dad version of me saying they had a very important update, and I had to call them back immediately. She said that it's very important that I call you guys right now. What's going on?
I've run your credit card now, and it's declined twice again. So we need to get something worked out today, as I told you before. Do you want to call your bank and have them see what the issue is, but it is declining.
Oh.
All right, guys. So 2 days later, they're calling this guy who they think is that child's father, right? And they're calling for their money. They're not calling to notify him that his child has run away or is missing, essentially missing. They call him to secure the credit card payment.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, I no wonder Lydia told me to call. This is a very important problem. But a few hours later, they finally thought it was a good idea to tell the dad version of me that the kid version of me was missing.
Ben jumped the fence and escaped, and we're still trying to find him. He kicked the ball over the fence, I guess, and then climbed over the fence and ran. So I think they did chase after him. They were unable to find him. So I know the police have been notified. So they are looking for him.
He actually, I got called from an unknown number earlier today. It was actually Ben, and he talked to me. He did say he would come back, but he gave me a list of demands, I guess, and he said once you complete these list of demands, he'll come back.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yes, my plan is to blackmail them with bad press that they lost one of their kids. And the only way they can get this bad press to end is by improving their facility for the rest of the kids.
Aw, that's so sweet. All right, so he's going to use some of this as leverage. Yeah, Trishy, that would be awesome to see if, if he did work, at one of these places. I mean, sometimes I'm sure they have the higher ups that are actually truly certified, and able to work there. And then they probably have the ones that are, the underlings that are not, in my opinion. I've heard about that, and I saw where one teen passed because of dehydration at one. Oh my goodness. It is such crazy. Yes. And they don't care. It is crazy shit, and they do not care. No, not one bit, because they're getting that money. They are getting that money, honey. Wow.
The first one was, he said, fix the high ropes course. The second one, he said, fix the pool. The next one, he said, just feed them like edible food. It doesn't have to be good, just it has to be edible. The next request was, he actually wants to learn some stuff. If it's a school he wants to learn. He would not like the kids to be in solitary confinement was his last request.
Oh, some of them have to be.
Ben said there was one kid who stole a bag of chips, and he was going to be in solitary confinement for 2 weeks.
Oh, I don't know.
And he said if you guys can complete those list of demands, he said he'll actually come back. And for every day they don't do these list of demands, it's every day that they now have a missing student. It looks like Provo Canyon now has a very big decision to make. Do they improve their facility, or do they risk getting shut down?
I know the pool is in the progress. They need a lifeguard, so the pool will be up and running. I don't think it's full of water currently, so I think we don't have a lifeguard. So I think.
Oh gosh, she's like, because we don't have a lifeguard. And he's like, well, what about the kid that got, spent all that time in the hole, right? In solitary confinement for, stealing a bag of chips. She's like, oh, she doesn't know what to say. And then, he starts talking about the pool, which is completely out of commission. And she's like, oh yeah, it's because we don't have a lifeguard. They don't even have water in the pool because there's a crack in it, they said.
That's been our hang up with the pool. I think the ropes course is functioning. Food, Provo Canyon's very average.
Well, it seems like Provo Canyon's going to choose to improve their facility.
The pool is supposed to be up and going as soon as we get somebody certified in lifeguarding.
But I wanted to add urgency to get these demands done as fast as possible. I'm just worried about my son. Do you think, because I'm worried he's going to die out there, do you think you could get the pool rebuilt fast? That way I don't have to worry my son's going to die?
I can definitely work on that. I can call over there and see what their status is on the pool. We can DoorDash food, so we can get food sent to him if you want to twice a week, so he has like normal good food.
Well, I don't think he just wants it for him. I think he wants it for all of the kids.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that then. That's very nice of him.
Dude, they might actually meet the list of demands. That'd be sick. So the next.
They were prepared to do that. My PTSD says negotiating with the bad and troubled kid shows the BS they pull. Exactly. They were like, oh, well, we'll get him good food. Right? I mean, that's a good way to get beat up, too, because the mentality of some of those kids because of what they're going through, what they've had to deal with, the places they've been. Yeah, she's totally fumbling, right? Trisha, she is. She's like, and it's like, oh. And, she came up with that lifeguard thing really, really quick, too. I'm sure they give them a list of rebuttals for parents, where it's like, okay, we'll tell them this if they call. But the thing is about those schools is they cut all the communication off, right? And if the kids even start to say anything, they cut it off. So, and say that they've gotten in trouble and so they're not allowed to call or talk, kind of thing, or write or any of that. They take away their privileges, and isolate them. It's just, one of the core strategies.
Today, they called back.
I don't know when the pool will be fixed, I guess. And I don't know I guess they're working on it. It's like a bigger construction problem.
He said he's not going to show his face again until we meet those listed demands. So I was wondering, is there any way that maybe I can talk to the CEO or anything and I can help you guys get these listed demands met faster? Or because I just really want to see my son again.
Yeah, no, me too.
I was getting worried that Provo Canyon was going to claim that these listed demands are too hard for them to do. But I'm prepared because I've already done all the math on this company.
How many kids do you think are in Provo Canyon?
256.
So that times 365 days of the year, that's $91 million a year. Do you think it costs $91 million a year to run this place?
No, they pay us $17 an hour. They could pay.
Wow. 93 million. He's like, do you think it takes that? He's like, no, he gets paid 17 an hour. 17 an hour.
Like 40 an hour.
How much staff is working there?
With teachers and everything, I'd say like max 50. I mean, probably closer to like 35.
With this calculation, I'll estimate all the employees cost about $5 million a year, leaving the CEO with about $86 million left over.
So where's all the money going?
It's a for-profit company. It's going in the owner's pocket.
So this guy, Tim Marshall, is the CEO of Provo Canyon School.
Okay, and this is Tim Marshall, who, if you are approached by media and they're asking you questions, this is the guy that you're supposed to reach out to as soon as that happens. You're supposed to not comment to whoever is inquiring, and then you are supposed to immediately report to Tim Marshall and let him know about it. He is the CEO of the company.
And from my research, it looks like he doesn't really do anything to help the facility. This is basically his only job now is he's a spokesperson, and he argues with the government to keep this place open. Basically, in the grand scheme of things, my listed demands are going to cost him basically nothing, but it will really, really help the kids out. But the thing is if the school doesn't want to take my advice, then a story could leak that they lost a kid, and that could shut down the school. So I'm going to call them again and see if they're ready to improve their facility.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voice.
And they didn't answer. So I called again.
Hey, I'm still calling about my missing son. Just wondering if you guys have any updates. If you have any updates at all, like just literally any updates. If you guys can just let me know any updates, even if you haven't found him yet, I'd literally just love to know any update if you could just get back to me. It kind of seems like you're blocking me, which kind of sucks, but yeah, if you can just call me back, that'd be great. The lesson here is if you're a parent sending your kid to Provo Canyon and your kid escapes, instead of looking for your kid and trying to help out the parent, they're just gonna block the parent. They'll just block you.
But after a couple months, they finally answered.
This is Sherry.
Hello, I'm just calling to see if you guys were able to find my son.
Okay, and we're calling on a balance on the account?
Well, I'm calling because I guess you guys lost my son. And
Wow, I'm calling because I guess you guys lost my son. Hey, Kylie's Nail Candy. Oh my goodness. And she's like, we're calling about payment. We're not calling about your missing son. They don't give a crap. They want that money. That little kid could be out there somewhere, in danger, hurt. Wow.
And I was just wondering if you ever returned.
So yeah, there's just a balance on the account. Did you want to take care of that today?
Well, is it okay if I ask about my son first and then we can figure out all the money stuff, or?
So I tried calling again.
Provo Canyon School, how can I direct your call?
He was in there for only 2 days and then he escaped, and so I was wondering if you guys have any information on where he's at.
I don't know who you're talking about. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't have any information for you.
Wow. I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't have any information for you. This is supposedly his dad calling in to look for him. Wow.
They gave up on finding me.
Oh my.
Dang. Well, that sucks. So I'll just be lost forever and no one cares. But just because they gave up doesn't mean I'm giving up. I went all the way back to Utah and found some random people in Utah that said they were down to help with the video. Maybe you could just be like, yo, I like met them up on the mountains or something. I'm a mountain person also. Yeah, you could pretend to be a mountain person and be like, we're both mountain people. Don't leave unless there's proof that there's actually, they're gonna do those listed demands.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still trying to get them to do the right thing. Right, this is kind of like his last ditch effort to do, you know, to allow them to try to do the right thing.
Be like, we're running out of food up in the mountains. We can't survive much longer.
Hi, how's it going? My friend, he, like, I gotta get him to come back here, but he doesn't want to come back. Like,
What's your friend's name?
Ben.
They'll pretty much leaving a lot of food up there.
He's not contributing anything. He was just like,
we
I'm
know
not
that's
going
not
back
the
till they fix this and this and this and this.
Got it. So...
I hate to leave this on a cliffhanger, but if you want to see what happens next, then come back for part 2. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to Patreon for a ton of more behind the scenes stuff. The 4th Lego video is still coming out soon.
Okay, guys, so, you know, he covers a lot of different things on his channel. Very interesting channel. I'm definitely going to check out more of what he has on there, and I'd invite you guys to do that as well. And that is also who we just watched, and the full credit goes to. And here's the other channel of his as well. It's called Ben Schneider. Give me a second. I'm going to grab it up for us, because I put the other link in there too for Reckless Ben. But this is Ben's other channel, Ben Schneider. So, yeah, I thought that was very eye-opening. And I just wanted to show you guys exactly how it looks, you know, inside these facilities. And, you know, even these very high-dollar facilities are cutting corners. They're mistreating the kids. They're bullying the kids around. They're saying horrible things to them, right? Telling them that they're going to have a horrible time living there, that it's going to be totally awful for them. So they're already anticipating and setting up expectations for it to be a disaster, right? For it to be this horrible situation that's happening and that's about to happen to them, and preparing them for the worst, right? And it's been alleged that there are many, many things that have happened at the female school, right? With Paris Hilton. And so to see an inside look at the facility that is for the boys and what the boys are having to go through, it is just completely eye-opening. I do want to watch his part 2s to this, but I want to do that tomorrow and do a part 2 on it as well. Because of course, you know, I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we will do a live review of Seth and Chris McDonough on the podcast for Sebastian. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. I think it's a great mashup. You know, we just did that review a couple of days ago, and Chris does a great job. Josh from the lab does a great job. You know, there's all of these creators that do such a great job. I was really hoping that maybe we can get the attention of this group, and maybe they can help with efforts to find Sebastian. So that's another reason that I wanted to do this video tonight. And again, Detroit, thank you so much for sending it to me. I've enjoyed reviewing this. I've enjoyed watching the content, the way that it's put out. And there's so much that we haven't even covered in this. So, oh my gosh, and Brock, it's going to be so hot here. It's going to be so hot here. And we have heat advisories. Are you guys dealing with the heat advisories? Or I know a lot of people had flooding also. So, of course, my thoughts and prayers are with you guys. And, of course, our friend Gail, because her husband is going through heart surgeries and he's recovering. He had a triple bypass surgery. So, and all my PTSD, thank you so much for the sticker. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Sharon Marlowe says they're setting these kids up for perpetual failure to keep them there longer and to keep that money rolling in. Job security for all. Oh, absolutely. And, it's a scary thought if a child goes in there at 12 years old and then they stay there for 6 or 7 years, before they're let out of there. No education, no, wherewithal. It is so scary. It is so frightening to think about. And you're right that they're setting them up for that perpetual failure. And I also want to echo what was said on the Misrepresented podcast, Brooke Harlan's podcast, because she was talking about how, it sets the kids up for going straight to jail, or prison, because they are very institutionalized at that point. That's all they know. They start to, rely on being told what to do, having to ask to go to the bathroom, having to ask to breathe. You know what I mean? Like he says, oh, if you breathe wrong, it is just a complete psychological mind F that these kids are going through. Hey, Gabby Miss, I was just thinking about you the other day and I need to get together with you on Discord. Um, I've just been so busy. This month has been terrible, but thank you so much for the gifted membership. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you got a membership, make sure that you say thank you to Gabby and welcome to the Dragon Tribe. Oh, did my party not go in? My goodness, I tried to start the party. I don't know why the party isn't wanting to work tonight. I just have to upload a short video. I still need to work on that as well. And All In Tanks got the membership. So All In Tanks, welcome to the Dragon Tribe. And of course, we do have the Discord I mentioned. It is a member perk. So definitely send me an email if you would like a link to that and come join the conversation. Come connect in the community. Yeah, that's so awesome, Gabby. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Yes, for Gil's husband. Yes. Thank you, Trishy. We've definitely been thinking about her, and her husband, going through that. So, um, thank you. Hugs and kisses to you too, my PTSD. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, this was very eye opening. And, anytime I'm thinking about how this wouldn't work because of, certain regulations and things like that, I'm reminded of that. Thank you, Witchy Mama. So yeah, I'm reminded of this and I'm like, oh gosh, and the program has been programmed into my brain. So definitely check that out because of course we won't be able to review that on, on the podcast here because it is a Netflix documentary. I wish they would just give us the rights of fair use to use that because it does get out to the masses. I mean, it's something that people really need to be aware of. And if we close it off to a small group, we just don't get the type of awareness that we need for it. But I love that you guys have checked it out and I love that people are watching it on Netflix. So okay. Oh, great. Yes, barbecue counselor and Sheldon follow up on this. I still haven't seen Jordan's new video yet. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm gonna definitely check that out too, Detroit. And then we'll look at reviewing it too. We might do like a little break to, on Wednesday, but then we'll get right back into it because, I just really feel like this could be an option of where Sebastian has been for 2.5 years, because of the events that transpired prior to his quote unquote disappearance. And we all know that he didn't just poof disappear. Nobody just poof disappears. So, oh gosh, Detroit, I'm so looking forward to watching that right now and getting acquainted with it so we can do some coverage on it. Um, and guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. If I could hop on an early show, maybe we'll do some more just to kind of get caught up. And I have to get caught up for the month as well because I wanted to do at least 10 live streams. And here we are, we don't have very many more days left in the month here. Got to get my booty in gear. So Yeah, that vanishing doormat. I need me one. I need a teleportation device that would that fits in my bedroom, and I could just go in there anytime I want and teleport to wherever I want. Nobody would know that I how I left. My goodness. Yeah, we just always know that that's not a thing, but that's the way we communicate it, and that's how we understand that there's a child that we can't find that's lost. And yeah, it's unfortunate. We got to get to the bottom of it. But I do think I do think that it could just be one theory that would be more probable than not. So I've um kind of put it on my list. You know what I mean? So, thank you, Bo. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, my PTSD. We all know that we call Cruella, that's Chris's mom, but I figured we could play, one of the other Disney villains that fits, because she just doesn't want anybody talking, about Sebastian's case, and that's not something that you would expect from the grandma or the step grandma of a missing child. So, um, oh, would you consider not age restricting your videos? Oh, I wish I could do that. Now, a lot of them aren't. But yeah, I appreciate you being here, Vegan Wolf. I appreciate you listening, but yeah, sometimes YouTube will do that. They'll do that on some of the videos. It's because of the content. And I call it crap content, but I don't mean that I think my content that I'm putting out here is crap. What I'm saying is that we cover, we call them Chester cheetahs here, but people that hurt, littles and CCM and all of that kind of stuff. And then we also cover, um, some pretty sensitive topics, especially in Sebastian Rogers' case, especially here lately with these filings coming out and us understanding more about what happened to him. So, yes. And if you have any information or know the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers or any of these children, call the FBI, call 911. If you think you see a missing person, the best strategy, I think, is to say their name, and see if they turn around, snap a picture, call 911. If you think that you see someone who is a missing person who needs to be brought back home to their family, definitely take those steps. And they're very important steps. And, it can't hurt to report something. You never know who you can help, when you do that. So, yeah, I've never had to show my ID either. There are some age restrictions, but then they like for me it just makes me click on it. But since I work for YouTube, then they probably know my age and everything, and they do have my ID. So, oh, in California it does. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Also, I don't blame you for not wanting to upload your ID. It's you know that's smart of you because it is a risk. So, um, all right, guys. Well, I love you guys all very much, and thank you all so much for being here. And I will see you all